Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is 9 o'clock on the dot here, time for the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9. And we have some great weather on the way. We had a little chill out today, but things are going to improve pretty dramatically here over the next several days, especially the temperature. We are going to warm it up quite a bit. So let me get my computer set up over here. I had one other thing in there, and we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. So as we get into the weather part of things, pretty quiet weather story again, as you probably guessed. We will see temperatures tonight falling back to near 40, and then tomorrow we go right back into the 70s. It'll start out a lot like today, clouds in the morning with clearing skies in the afternoon. We have some 80s on the way by the end of the weekend. We have 40s now across the northern half of the tri-state, still barely hanging there in the lower 50s to the south. And today our winds subsided a bit. We still had a couple little gusts out there of 20 miles per hour or greater, but generally a pretty quiet day. Through the remainder of the week, you can see the trend here continues to rise on temperatures, and other than a chance of rain on Friday, we're going to have to wait till early next week to really see any more active weather or thunderstorms showing up. Storm Prediction Center's outlooks here for the next few days keep the tri-state out of any kind of action, and that will likely include Friday. While we may have some showers Friday night and early Saturday, I don't think we're going to have the elements in place even for much thunder. 47, our temperature now, as you saw in that earlier graph. We hit 58 today, but just to our south we had mid and upper 60s. That air, will be swept into the tri-state tomorrow and then stay with us for the rest of the week. We are just a bit cooler than we were last night at this time, and that's probably because we still have clear skies out there and a north wind. Plus, we didn't warm up as much today. Our low this morning was 2 degrees warmer than the average, but our high was about 8 degrees off the pace. So that kind of lines up with why it felt a little chillier out there today. And for our calendar now, we've not added any more rain yet. We're really kind of banking on early next week, and I'll show you here in a minute what we're thinking. So for the month, we're behind by about a half an inch of rain. The drought monitor will update on Thursday, but just to kind of keep it top of mind, we are abnormally dry out there. The main thing is just be careful with any open burning or things like that as we get progressively drier each day. There are some showers back to our north up here around the Quad Cities, Alton, Illinois, and then near Davenport, Waterloo, and Cedar Rapids getting some rain right now as that disturbance begins to move east. With the high pressure, though, oriented over Pennsylvania, we start to scoop up a pretty broad southerly flow across the tri-state, and that means warm temperatures and a lack of rain as all of that is kind of diverted to the north by those southerly winds. And even that line of showers that will be dropping down toward the tri-state by late Friday night doesn't look, excuse me. I don't know why I sneeze on this show all that. People are probably tuning in to see if I'm going to sneeze or not. Oh my goodness, there's so much pollen blowing around. Something's out there. Well, you know, if you've been out, you know that we've had the wind. It's kind of dusty. Anyway, enough of my griping. You didn't come here for that. So on the GFS model, that band of showers is kind of weakening as it moves through. That's why we're not really anticipating much significant rainfall on Friday. Look at next week, though. Starting Monday, maybe some rain in the morning. Then a couple of cold fronts come through. The first on Tuesday, generating some showers ahead of it, and potentially another system then Wednesday, Thursday. Both of these showing a little more concentrated rainfall. At that stage, our temperatures will be in the 80s, and it'll be a little more humid. So I think we would be ripe then for some thunderstorms. Could see some strong storms, still too early to say with any precision. Rainfall through Wednesday next week. Now looking a little more respectable there on the GFS. Now keep in mind, we're looking out here 8 days. So whether that number holds or not is always up for grabs when you're looking that far down the line on the Euro or on any long-range model. But we're going to compare that with what the European is showing. it's also advertising some showers and storms on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So theoretically, let's see, the GFS was 1 inch and 47 hundredths. The European coming up with 1 inch. That's about on brand for the European, always a little more conservative on rainfall. So the bottom line here is nothing to worry about through Sunday. Next week we might have some rain and thunderstorms. As you would expect here, it is April after all. 37 tonight with clear skies, then clouding up, becoming mostly sunny tomorrow with a 72-degree high. And the next 7 days are looking pretty respectful there. We have We have temperatures in the 80s and rain chances early next week. The temperature outlook for the next couple of days or up through the middle of the month is warmer than normal and rainfall drier than normal too. I think we have a reprise here on our pet pick. That is Princess Linda Waxler's kitty. All right, let me check your questions here. We're going to do a make good on the fishing team story that I didn't get in there yesterday. I'm going to sit down here for a minute and get on my computer so I can add that in. All right. And I hope everybody had a good day today. It was beautiful weather. I kind of like it a little bit on the chilly side, actually. You know, I mean, I prefer 70, probably like you would, but it was very pleasant out there. Other than the pollen, if that's what it is. It actually, you know, I've tied this to the cause. And we have an oak tree and a maple tree at my house, and when they start to get that green, they just start to bud out. And you know that stuff that like collects in the gutters and every place, that kills me. I get all stopped up and sneezy, and I've discovered I can't talk while I do what I'm supposed to do here. So okay, now we got the story in, and we will roll it here in just a second. I want to make sure I've got audio on it this time. I do. That's going to make a huge difference. The story might actually make sense with audio in it. Okay, let me look at your questions here. I've talked way too much. And there we are. Okay, oh, Laura Gray says, bless you. Well, thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about the sneeze, right? Ricky Brown, hello. Ricky loves the weather. Jan Lynn Adams, good evening from Mount Carmel. I think you were on last night, weren't you? Good to have Mount Carmel in there. Cheyenne Hammonds, good evening, Cheyenne. Jan likes the weather today. Zach Seats, good evening. Alicia's ready for warmer weather. Well, we're working on it. Thank you, Lenny, blessing me there for that sneeze. Laura Gray, too. Due to too much rain. I know. Laura brings that up. You know, Laura's down there in Dawson Springs. And remember last year we had the big flood there along, the Tradewater River to the north, and then I can't think of the river there that runs through down through southern Hopkins County. It'll come to me here right when probably 3 in the morning. How are my fur baby? You know, I haven't posted any pictures of those crazy cats lately. I need to do that. I was hoping at Easter time, you know, we were all dutied up after church. I thought, well, I'll get the 3 cats and we'll have a picture. It doesn't work. You cannot, the girls are the problem. Bobby, the boy cat, the black one, he's friends to all, but the girls do not, if you force them together, it's like, you know, oil and water, and they scratch. And so, you know, I wasn't in the market to get scratched up again. But they do seem to be getting along more, and Sissy, the original female that we have, spends a lot more time. She's more conspicuous now. She was hiding out a lot. But she's up on in her half of the house, you know, on the dining room table and the kitchen and stuff. And then the other cat, Penelope, has taken over the living room. So the hallway divides those two, and that's kind of the DMZ, because there's a litter box there. So I guess everybody has to, you know, get to the facilities. Probably too much information there on cats. All right, we're going to watch my out and about that I fouled up yesterday and didn't have the audio turned on. So I hope you'll enjoy this. This is about the high school fishing team, bass fishing team at Union County High School, and their coach's name is Gary Sheffer, He, I think he told me 5 years ago or a few years ago, had the idea to put this team together, and he and his wife and family have been instrumental in getting it started, and they've been successful. They've caught some big fish, won some awards, trophies, and so forth. So we'll let you check it out, and then I'll take any questions that you have after that. Okay, fingers crossed that this is actually going to work. And I'm going to put my glasses on to make sure that it does. So here we go. Well, there. Aha! I'm Jeff Lyons, out and about today at Moffett Lake near Morganfield, Kentucky, with Gary Sheffer, the coach of the Union County fishing team. Gary, how you doing?
Doing great.
Doing a little fishing here this afternoon after school, right?
Yes, sir. We're just out here doing a little extra casting practice, getting them ready for this weekend. They've got a Dave Stewart Memorial Scholarship Tournament this weekend.
Got some crankbaits.
And this part spins around the line.
Probably gonna use this square bill.
As it's spinning, the white piece covers the hook, so the bass just like attack it.
This is supposed to imitate crawdad or something. This, let it sink to the bottom and you jig it up and down.
Well, this one is one of my favorites. It is the Rapala Freeloader 5-inch. It's one of the new ones that just came out. It's called a Demiki rig and works like a dream.
How did all this come about, Gary?
Well, I've just been passionate about fishing all my life, and we presented it to the school. The school was excited, and so we've been doing it for 5 years now.
The kids really get to learn something they can, people fish their whole lives. This is something they'll do the rest of their lives. And when somebody lands on one of those good 4 or 5 pound smallmouth, it's just neat watching them get so excited about it, and it's a lot of fun to see the joy in the kids.
I just like when the fish fight back, and it's just like you never know if it's gonna be like the best fish you've ever caught or just like the little fish that are so funny to catch.
Tracy and Chloe come to the stage with one fish. One fish that's gonna go 2 pounds even.
Some girls, and that's a good thing. Girls is really neat. They kind of fish their own division in the region. That's nice to see that girls are starting to take interest.
The tournament that we won was my first high school tournament ever, so we've had a pretty good start. That's about the 3rd or 4th time I've ever been on a lake actually fishing, so I was happy for the opportunity. Really, I didn't know what to expect, but I like it a lot, and it's pretty fun.
I'd say a million. I've been fishing since I was 4 in the pond in my backyard, and started fishing Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lake when I was in 7th grade. So ever since then, it's been all I do.
You've got to be determined. I preach to them all the time. Sutton Sheffer, he caught a 6.5 pounder on his very last cast of the day. So it's just being determined and never quitting. Set your goal on what you want to do and go out and achieve it. If you don't achieve it, don't get down. Go out and practice a little more and try harder next time.
Gary, that's really interesting how all this works. I wish your team and everybody the very best in your tournaments coming up.
Appreciate it.
All right. With Gary Sheffer, I'm Jeff Lyons, out and about.
Thank you.
All right, so that was the Union County High School fishing team. Go Braves. Hopefully they'll catch some big ones this year as they have in the past. It was a great group, and they were so kind to have me out there. They were actually just practicing casting and stuff out on Moffett Lake, which is out kind of south of Morganfield in Union County. And we had a beautiful evening out there, a little cool, and nobody caught a fish while I was hoping they would catch, but luckily they had some video from a couple of their tournaments where they landed some big fish, and of course the pictures that you saw. So I have other out and abouts up my sleeve here, and we'll be eager to put the next one out here very soon. In the meantime, that's all I have for you weather-wise tonight. I'll check your questions one more time. I think somebody asked about rain next weekend. Adam Lewigs. And then Paula Skelton doesn't want it to rain on the 18th. A dog has a spa day then. When's your spa day? I didn't know dogs got spa days. I should have been a dog. Of course, every day's a spa day for a cat, right? Well, anyhow, that's all I have for you right now. Of course, I'll be on 14 News at 10, as always, with the updated forecast. And I'll see you back in here tomorrow night on the First Alert Weather Show at 9. Please stay safe, and thanks for watching.